Hey guys, this is Dan with Pain For You. Today I wanted to give you a simple tip. If you are sometimes questioning whether or not this is TMS or distraction pain or stress illness versus something physical, I'm going to encourage you to keep an evidence log. Meaning every time something happens that confirms it's TMS, I want you to write it down. Get a little tiny notebook. You can get them for $1.99 at the store. Have someone pick one up for you, or just grab it next time you're out. And just keep an evidence log, proof that I have TMS, proof that I'm not broken, proof that this is a mind-body thing. Some examples of proof would be every time I get really upset, my pain gets worse. I'm going to pull these off for right now. Every time I get really upset, my pain gets worse. My flare-ups always seem to coincide with, an emotional outburst or an emotional flare-up, if you will. That's evidence. If your pain moves, that is evidence. If applying heat or ice helps, that will change the blood flow to the affected area. That's proof. Why? Because we know that the autonomic nervous system restricts the blood flow to certain areas, and that is what is causing the symptoms. So anything that would increase the blood flow, like movement, like heat, like massage, like a warm bath, if these things help, that's all proof that it's TMS. Because if it was a structural problem and there was a nerve impinging, being impinged upon by a bulging disc or something like that, I'm sorry. A little bit of increased blood flow is not going to stop that. So I have a self-assessment. If you're still unsure if you have the personality characteristics and or the pain characteristics or symptom characteristics of TMS, I would encourage you to download it. Go to painforyou.com, enter your email address, and download the self-assessment. It's about 11 pages. It will take you a little bit of time, but it will help you to gain some insight as to what's going on in your world and what might be at cause of your pain. Again, I believe most of us, the vast majority of chronic symptoms are TMS or distraction pain, stress illness, whatever you want to call it. So download that self-assessment. But some other things that would lead us to believe that you have TMS or this distraction process at work. Sometimes our inner dialogue is a key indicator. Are you believing that you're not enough, you're not good enough, I'm not capable? Asking questions like, what's wrong with me? I'm stupid, or I'm an idiot. Why can't I do anything right? That type of stuff. Personality types. Are you overstressed, overwhelmed? Are you a perfectionist, meaning everything needs to be just right? If not, it kind of freaks you out a little bit. Are you a do-gooder, meaning you're putting everybody else's needs above your own, right? And many people, we are caretakers, we are parents. It's our job to care for our children. And we're good parents, right? So we're good people. And so we put the needs of our children in front of our own. And that's what we should do. But we should also recognize that being a parent and being an adult can be infuriating. And if we deny that, like I did for all those years, it can result in pain, which can become chronic. So, are you sensitive to criticism? Are you controlling? Right? You constantly need to control things, and when you can't, you kind of freak out a little bit emotionally. Are you slightly compulsive? Are you very hard on yourself? Are you very self-critical? Are you also very dependable? Because when you pride yourself on being dependable, that can be infuriating to the little kid inside who just wants to sit and watch a movie. But you're dependable. I got to cut the lawn today. I got to do this today, I got to do that today, I got to go to the kids' soccer game, I got to, do whatever. I got to do the laundry, I got to clean the house, I got to do whatever. Being dependable can be infuriating to the little child inside. Are you a people pleaser? Are you so concerned about being liked and approved of by others that you are the last person you are considering. That can be infuriating. Are you spiritual or religious? Right? Oftentimes, very spiritual people feel like I'm very zen, I'm very religious, anger doesn't have a place in my life. God would not approve of that, or that doesn't fit with who I believe I am, so therefore these negative emotions, we push them away, right? Those are some personality types. But let's talk about, some pain characteristics here. And I'm glancing down a little bit because I'm reading, right? I don't want to miss any of this stuff. It's all really important. So has your pain lasted longer than 6 to 8 weeks? If it has, then it's likely TMS or stress illness or distraction pain. Why? The body heals. I talked about that in a recent video. Does your pain change in intensity? Does it sometimes get really bad and sometimes not as bad? And does that correlate with your moods and your temperament and your emotion levels? You'll often find that's true. I spent some time poking around the Facebook groups for fibromyalgia, and inevitably somebody will tell a story about, my husband did this and it really pissed me off, and before I knew it, my pain lit up like a Christmas tree. It was all over my body. All right? And connect the dots there. Do you hurt sometimes but not others? Are there times when... Yeah, I got a truck going by. Sorry about the noise. Are there times when you hurt and others don't? In my video from yesterday, I was talking about how if you're distracted by life or doing something engaging where you're kind of really not thinking about the pain and you're not looking for it and you don't notice it, so does your pain. Is your pain there sometimes and not at others? That is a clue. Write that down. That's evidence. Does your pain lessen during times of lowered stress? Like, can you go on vacation and be okay, but then when you get home, whammo, it's back. It's waiting for you. It's waiting for you in your house. Do you have locational pain? I told the story, I don't know what video it was, but of a lady that was divorced and had pain when she was home by herself. She did not have that much pain when she was at work, surrounded by other people, smiling, laughing with coworkers. And when she'd get back home, the pain would be waiting for her. So locational pain. In her case, the home was the situation where she felt most alone. That's a clue. That's evidence. Write it down, right? What we're looking to do here in this video is find all the examples of proof. So it almost becomes indisputable that you have TMS. So anytime that little negative doubt comes along and says, well, maybe it's physical because I haven't been able to beat it yet, pull out your evidence log and read it. Read that evidence log all the time. Do you have pain levels that spike during increased times of stress or when you get angry? That's a clue. Do you have any history of stress illness, like an upset stomach, tension headaches, IBS, reflux? These are oftentimes stress illnesses. Write it down. Does the location of your pain ever move, even slightly? If so, it can't be structural. So these things are really important. Look at what your doctors have told you. If they told you you've got a bulging or herniated disc, and after that diagnosis your pain got worse, well, it wasn't structural, because I'm sorry, hearing some words out of a doctor should not make your pain worse, but inevitably it does. How about reading something in WebMD or Wikipedia, and here's a related symptom that you don't have but you're worried about having, and next thing you know, a week later you start having that symptom. It's not structural. It's influenced by the power of suggestion that you may get this. So I hope this is useful. Write an evidence log. Every time you find some evidence or proof that you have TMS or distraction pain or stress illness, write it down, because that's going to become your go-to in times of doubt. And look, when you're in your times of doubt, it's really easy to forget all of the evidence that you've seen throughout your history of these symptoms. So writing this evidence log is actually a very empowering thing to do, because you're literally putting in writing and you're documenting all of the proof that you've had along the way that you are simply experiencing stress, illness, or distraction pain, or TMS as Dr. Sarno called it. And that proof is going to go a long way towards increasing your belief. And when you have belief, you're actually going to take action. You're going to do the emotional work. Oh, by the way, if this emotional work changes your symptoms, whether it be slightly up or down, or makes it spike, that's more proof. Write it down, right? Some people will say, hey, I was doing this TMS work, I was journaling, I was doing the I feel this, I feel angry, I feel that, and boy, did my pain go up, right? That's proof. Feeling your emotions should not hurt you unless it's TMS or distraction pain. Because if it was structural, simply doing an emotional feeling process would not impact your pain. So look, guys, not rocket science. Keep a journal of your evidence, and literally call it a proof journal or an evidence journal. Again, I got construction at the next house up. So I hope that makes sense. That's a tip for you to employ right away. And for those of you who are really, really, really struggling, I'm gonna have to cut this short. Got a tree, what do they call them? Whatever, tree chopper. So for anybody who's really, really, truly struggling, spend some time looking for evidence, any fluctuation in pain, moving up, down, sideways, getting better or worse with stress or emotions or anger. Look at your personality types. You need to control, they need to be perfect. Doing good for others all the time. There's all evidence around us if you pay attention to it. So write it down, document it. Let me know if this helps. We'll talk to you guys soon.